Have you ever noticed that the more time management hacks you try, the more absolutely exhausted you feel? You download the productivity apps, you color code your calendar, you wake up at 5 a.m. to grind, and yet, at the end of the day, you're completely drained and feel like you got nothing done. What if I told you that you aren't tired because you're doing too much? You're tired because your energetic currency is bleeding out. You are deeply trapped in what I call the time debt matrix. In the West, we are taught to think of time as just minutes ticking by on a screen. We treat it like it's a totally neutral, passive thing. But in spiritual engineering, time isn't just a measurement, it is a literal, physical currency. In fact, it's the highest value quantum asset you will ever possess. And here is the brutal truth. Every single time you procrastinate, every time you fall into a mindless 2-hour doom-scrolling loop, or obsess over drama that doesn't serve you, you aren't just wasting time. You are actively taking out a high-interest, energetic loan against your own future. Think about it like an energetic credit card. When you misuse your time on low-frequency distractions, you accumulate a massive karmic debt. You know that heavy, sluggish, almost paralyzing feeling you get when you've wasted an entire weekend doing absolutely nothing of value. That isn't just psychological guilt. That is a literal energetic weight pressing down on your nervous system. You owe the universe for the currency you just burned without a return on investment. In ancient Eastern mechanics, this concept isn't some cute metaphor. It is a strict, undeniable law governed by forces that do not care about your excuses. If you keep living in this deficit, your destiny literally gets blocked. So how do you stop the bleeding? How do you audit your spiritual energy and pay off this invisible debt before it completely bankrupts your potential? To do that, we have to look at the ultimate system administrator of the universe's timeline, the fierce architect of time. And trust me, the way he balances the books is absolutely ruthless. Let's break down the exact protocol to wipe your slate clean. Alright, let's get into the mechanics of this. I want you to completely forget everything you've been told about karma being some mystical cosmic point system where you hold a door open for someone and magically find a $20 bill on the sidewalk. That's the watered-down fairy tale version. In the realm of spiritual engineering, karma is pure quantum physics. It is the inescapable law of cause and effect, and time is the currency that powers the entire machine. Think of your daily energy, your focus, your attention, your physical presence as your capital. Every single morning, you wake up with a fresh deposit of this quantum capital. When you invest it into building your skills, clearing your mind, or creating something of value, you are compounding your energetic return. You're literally raising your frequency, which magnetically pulls better opportunities, better relationships, and higher timelines toward you. But what happens when you blow that capital? What happens when you spend 3 hours paralyzed on the couch, watching people you don't even like on social media, or draining yourself in toxic arguments? You aren't just killing time, you are actively taking out a payday loan against your own destiny, and the interest rate is astronomical. Every moment of low-frequency distraction creates a micro-tear in your spiritual blueprint. The universe operates on strict energetic accounting. When you consume without producing, or exist in a state of chronic apathy, you rack up karmic debt. This debt literally anchors you to lower timelines. You know exactly what I'm talking about. That feeling where you're working hard, but no matter what you do, you just can't seem to get ahead. You feel stuck in mud. That's not bad luck. That is the physical weight of accumulated time debt dragging your frequency down to the floor. You are tethered to the ghosts of all those wasted hours. And until you pay off that energetic deficit, the universe will simply refuse to unlock the next level of your life. It's like trying to run a marathon while dragging a parachute. You have to cut the cord. But to do that, you first have to understand who you actually owe this debt to. You have to meet the auditor. So who exactly is holding this energetic debt? In ancient yogic sciences, time isn't just some passive empty space that we happen to exist inside. It is a highly conscious, fiercely intelligent force, and the ultimate system administrator of this timeline is an archetype known as Kaal Bhairav. Now I want you to drop any preconceived notions of what a deity or a god is. For our purposes in spiritual engineering, think of Kaal Bhairav as the cosmic auditor. He is the raw, uncompromising algorithm of the universe that oversees cause and effect. The word Kaal literally translates to time, and Bhairav translates to something terribly fierce or formidable. Why is he fierce? Because time does not negotiate. It doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care about how burnt out you feel. And it certainly doesn't care that you meant to be productive today. Time just collects what it is owed. There is an incredibly powerful ancient story about the origin of Kaal Bhairav. The creator of the universe, Brahma, became bloated with massive ego. He thought he was untouchable, endlessly producing without any accountability. To restore balance to the system, Kaal Bhairav was manifested, a force so intense that he literally severed the ego-driven head of the creator himself. Now don't look at this as just an old myth. It is a profound psychological blueprint for exactly what is happening in your life right now. When you are trapped in an ego-driven cycle of wasting your life, doom scrolling for hours, clinging to self-pity, or chasing cheap dopamine, you are acting just like that bloated creator. You are entirely out of alignment with the sacred geometry of your own potential. Kaal Bhairav represents the radical, sudden, and often painful reality check that severs that ego. He is the pressure that forces you to look at the clock and realize, I am running out of currency. When things in your life suddenly start breaking down, when you feel completely stagnant, when your relationships stall out, or your business hits a brick wall, that isn't a curse or bad luck. That is the cosmic auditor stepping in. He is foreclosing on your energetic debt. He is violently shaking you awake, forcing you to sever the habits that are draining your life force. But here is the secret. You don't have to wait for the entire system to crash to fix it. You can proactively hack the audit. So how do you proactively hack the audit? How do you clear this massive energetic debt before the universe forces a catastrophic system crash in your life or business? You execute the Kaal Bhairav protocol. And let me be clear, this isn't about downloading another aesthetic habit tracker or trying out the Pomodoro method. This is a highly aggressive, spiritual restructuring of your daily bandwidth. It happens in 3 non-negotiable steps. Step 1 is the brutal audit. You have to sit down, strip away your ego entirely, and ruthlessly track exactly where your quantum currency is leaking. I'm talking about the 2 hours you spend doom scrolling in bed, the mental energy you waste running fake arguments in your head while you're in the shower, or the social circles that exist purely to complain. You have to stop viewing these as just bad habits. You need to see them for what they actually are. Unauthorized, high-interest withdrawals from your life force. You literally write them down. You look at the paper, and you acknowledge the debt you owe. Step 2 is the severance. Remember the story. The architect of time carries a weapon specifically to sever the bloated ego. You have to energetically cut the cord yourself. This requires a conscious, violent withdrawal of your attention. When you catch yourself slipping into a time leak, you don't just gently try to refocus. You use a harsh mental interrupt. You treat that distraction as a literal physical threat to your destiny. In the ancient sciences, practitioners used specific sound frequencies and mantras to shatter these energetic loops, essentially throwing up a massive firewall against anything trying to feed on their wasted time. Step 3 is the reinvestment. Once you stop the bleeding, you have to start planting new karmic seeds. But you can't just do this whenever you feel like it. You have to do it in the universe's prime real estate. In Eastern mechanics, they use the twilight zones, that critical quiet window right before the sun rises, or the exact moment you are drifting off to sleep. This is when the firewall between your conscious mind and the quantum field drops. If you plant your absolute highest frequency intentions in these specific pockets of time, the energetic return on investment is staggering. You stop just paying off your debt, and you start accumulating massive spiritual wealth. Listen, the most dangerous lie modern society has ever sold you is that you have plenty of time. You don't. Time isn't a guaranteed safety net. It is a highly finite amount of quantum capital, and every single day, the cosmic auditor is watching your transactions. You can either continue to hemorrhage your life force on low-frequency distractions, racking up a massive karmic debt that keeps you paralyzed, or you can take radical responsibility. You can draw a hard line in the sand today and say, I am no longer funding my own stagnation. When you finally decide to implement this protocol and actively sever those time leaks, your entire reality shifts. You stop feeling physically drained for no reason. You stop feeling like you're constantly playing catch-up with your own destiny. Instead, you start operating with laser focus. You become spiritually engineered. You start hoarding your quantum capital and investing it so deeply into your own growth that the universe has no choice but to unlock those higher timelines for you. But let's be completely honest with each other. Severing these deep parasitic energetic cords is incredibly difficult to do on willpower alone. Your ego is going to fight back. Your old routines are going to scream for that cheap dopamine, and the matrix of your current reality will try to pull you right back to sleep. It's time to stop paying interest on a life you don't even want, and start engineering the destiny you actually deserve. Thank you for tuning in to Sacred Path Engineering. Make sure to hit subscribe, fiercely protect your time, and I will see you in the next one.